the chief executive of various agencies, the president and chairman NECA, DG and chief executive of NECA, members of the diplomatic corps, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm here on behalf of His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON. He was looking forward to coming here, but he's currently representing our president at an event, commissioning projects in the FCT. So then he dispatched me to come and present his address to this august assembly. He wants me to convey to you that no nation can rise above the opportunities it creates for its people. And no opportunity is born without a deliberate act or will behind it. The economies that flourish today did not stumble into prosperity. They summoned the foresight to imagine a different future and the courage to make the reforms that bring it within reach. Foresight without courage produces fine speeches and empty outcomes. Courage without foresight produces motion without progress. What a nation requires is the marriage of both, the vision to see what must change and the resolve to change it, even when the path is steep. That is the burden of responsible leadership and the spirit in which I address you this morning. I welcome you to the 5th Annual Nigerian Employees Summit, a leading private sector conversation on enterprise sustainability, job creation, investment facilitation, and inclusive growth. For nearly 7 decades, the Nigerian Employees Consultative Association has been a credible voice of employers, building bridges between government, labor, partners, and business. I commend NECA for sustaining it. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this year's theme is timely, honest, and necessary. Timely because Nigeria stands at a decisive moment. Honest because reforms shape production, costs, credit, exchange rates, taxation, and investment. Necessary because the private sector cannot compete on sentiment. It competes on working infrastructure, predictable policy, fair taxes, and reliable energy. When His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, assumed office, the economy carried a deep structural burdens. The fuel subsidy had become fiscally unsustainable. The foreign exchange market was fragmented. Revenue was weak, and investor confidence needed rebuilding. The easy path at that time was to postpone hard decisions. But leadership is tested when the right decision is the difficult one. The Renewed Hope agenda was designed to confront these realities. We cannot build prosperity on distortions, attract investments when foreign exchange is uncertain, or create jobs when enterprises are suffocated by multiple taxes, poor logistics, and insecurity. The reforms have been difficult, but their purpose is to correct the foundation so growth can become real, but durable and inclusive. There is no doubt that restoring macroeconomic stability was our first task, because a stable economy is the first infrastructure of business. Before roads, rails, and ports, businesses need confidence to plan and invest. This is why removing the fuel subsidy and reforming the foreign exchange market at the center of our research. The subsidy had crowded our investment while breeding rent-seeking, and the reforms delivered a transparent, market-reflective system. Our fiscal and tax reforms follow the same logic. Businesses do not reject taxation. They reject multiple taxation, harassment, and a system that punishes compliance while sparing informality. Our agenda reduces the number of taxes, harmonizes administration, protects the vulnerable, supports small businesses, and drives compliance through technology, lowering risks and widening the base that funds infrastructure. Our work on the power sector, depth, gas, the presidential CNG initiative, and energy transition serves one aim: to lower the energy burden on businesses and households. Compressed natural gas uses our own resources to cut transport costs, support cleaner mobility, and attract investment. When energy is cheaper and more reliable, production expands. Jobs follow, income improves, and demand rises. That is how economies grow from within. Indeed, infrastructure and logistics form the next pillar. Goods must move from farm to factory to market. Yet poor roads, congested ports, and weak logistics are hidden taxes on enterprises are obstacles. We are therefore investing in roads, rails, ports, and logistics corridors. The African Continental Free Trade Area is a major opportunity, but advantage is not automatic. We must enter it as a producer and exporter, not market for others. The private sector asks only that we not make doing business unnecessarily difficult, because every delayed approval, unclear regulation, and informal demand is a cost to enterprise. PayBack must keep reducing bottlenecks and digitizing processes, so reforms announced in Abuja reach businesses in Lagos, Kano, Aba, and beyond expeditiously. Our work on security and food production continues, so businesses operate without fear and farmers return to their fields, and these challenges will soon pass. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this summit rightly places ESG at the center of competitiveness. Some still treat it as a compliance core, but that view belongs to the past. Investors must examine it. Markets demand it. Supply chains require it. And future generations will judge how we balance profit with people and planet. Environmental responsibility means energy efficiency, cleaner production, and climate resilience. Social responsibility means decent work, fair labor, safety, inclusion, and youth employment. It now falls to the private sector and all Nigerians to leverage these reforms. Government designs policy, but businesses create the factories, farms, services, and jobs that citizens experience. This administration sees the private sector not as an adversary, but as a partner. We will not always agree, yet we must keep engagement open, because a government that ignores employers and cannot fully understand, then they cannot understand the economy. I close with confidence. Nigeria is not without challenges. We know and feel them daily, but Nigeria is not without direction. We ask all stakeholders to stay the course so the sacrifices already made yield the dividends we desire. The Renewed Hope agenda is a call to rebuild our economy, to move from fragility to resilience, and from consumption to production, and to build a Nigeria where enterprise thrives. Workers prosper, investors trust, and growth includes the many, not the few. To the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association, thank you for your leadership. And to the organized private sector, thank you for your resilience. I urge all participants to speak frankly and recommend practical solutions so this summit produces workable ideas and stronger partnership. The future of Nigeria will not be built by government alone. It will be built by all of us in shared responsibility and renewed hope. On this note, I am very pleased to declare the 5th Annual Nigerian Employers Summit open. Thank you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.